Brain Swell Media and 360 Ad Sales Strategy and Training. And once again, thanks so much for stopping by here. As a part of our Shweiki webinar series, we continue to cover topics that we hope are hitting spot on within your organization. You know, as a Shweiki customer, of course, you're always entitled to work with me at a highly discounted rate, as well as we'd love to hear from you. If you have topics you'd love for me to cover, I encourage you to drop an email to the address that you see on your screen, ryan@360adsales.com. And love for you to send me an email about some topics for upcoming discussions, because we want to do these webinars specifically for you and address topics that are specific to you inside your office. So if you think of topics you'd like us to discuss, pop them over, ryan@360adsales.com, or feel free to contact your Shweiki Media rep, and they will get those topics in the queue as well. Today, an awesome topic, all right? We're going to talk about debating digital. How many times in the last weeks have you heard a salesperson say, or you as a salesperson, have you heard, hey, we're going to be shifting a lot of our media dollars over to social media, or we're going to be doing a lot more with Facebook and not so much with print, or we're going to be doing less print and we're going to be doing a lot more with online. Well, one of the things that I have found, it's so important for us to understand, and I want you to make note of that. Make note of this: confusion equals no. And what really does that mean? What does confusion equals no mean? What it means is that people don't buy what they don't understand. Now, it doesn't mean, though, that people won't pay more money for something, even if it's more expensive. Typically, they will, as long as they understand what it is that they're buying. So very often, as we're talking about digital sales and digital strategies, the problem you're running into, the problem your salespeople are running into is this: they're just not doing a good job educating their advertisers about your digital opportunities. Now, they think they are. They've been out on the street. They think they've been out there talking the talk, walking the walk, and sharing some great information. What happened is, most of the time, advertisers don't want to admit when they don't understand. And that's why confusion equals no. Now, let me ask you this question. Why that someone would pay extra money for a Lexus knowing full well that it's actually just a high-end Toyota? Why would one pay extra for an Audi knowing that it's a high-end Volkswagen? Why would someone pay extra or more for an Infiniti knowing that it's a high-end Nissan? So they know that there's a lower price option, but they choose to buy the brand. They choose to buy something with higher sparkle and polish. It's because they understand. They understand it from a status perspective. They understand it from a pricing perspective. They get it. And that's why people do it. So you've got to understand, when selling your digital products, coming up with a digital strategy, trying to get more out of people from a digital way, that when you better educate them, better understand, then you have a better customer. The number is, advertisers have more marketing options than ever before. So, are you prepared for this debate? Are you prepared to fight for that advertiser's dollar? Do you remember when there were really only 4 options? Raise your hand, all of us old people out there. It used to be TV, a little bit of magazines, of course radio and newspaper. Now, in most media markets across the country, the one thing to remember is this: there are as many as 100 options, even in small markets across the country. So it's not going to get any easier, because advertisers now more than ever before have as many as 100 options. So where are they going to go? They're being told by their children, hey, Mom, Dad, you need to do this. They're being told by their 25, 26-year-old marketing director that just graduated college, oh my gosh, print is dead. Quit running in print. You only need to do Facebook. Well, I'm going to tell you this. We're right now in a position as magazine publishers to make all kinds of money, because digital assets that are out there married with our print product, it's awesome for us. A good digital advertiser is an educated advertiser. That should be an exclamation point on that slide in front of you. A good advertiser is an educated advertiser, because they understand the power of print. me ask you this. What is your advertiser education plan? On a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis to educate your advertisers about marketing in general. Now, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about your assets. I'm not talking about what it is that your magazine has to offer. I'm talking about what are you, as a magazine publisher, doing on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis to educate your advertisers about marketing in general. Oh, Ryan, I don't want to educate them because if I educate them, then they might learn that print is very expensive. Oh, Ryan, I don't want to get, they're educated. That means they're dangerous. That's a dangerous advertiser to have. Guys, I hear this all the time. Companies small, from East Coast to West Coast, Canada, all the way down and over to Australia. I hear it all the time. It's like you want to keep advertisers in a dark room like a mushroom. Put them in the corner and feed them a bunch of baloney, and they'll continue to grow and stick around with you. It's the thing to remember is this. Advertisers aren't getting dumber. I can't necessarily say that in all cases they're getting smarter, but it's up to us as publishers, as sales professionals, to keep these advertisers educated so that they will be asking us what we have to offer. Here's some ideas for you. What about monthly e-marketing updates? An email that goes out once a month from your sales team that contains some marketing tidbits. Maybe it's information from Mashable.com. Maybe it's information on hiring good salespeople or putting together a good HR program from Inc.com. How about putting together quarterly lunch and learns? Maybe you bring all your advertisers to a lunch spot and host them for lunch, and maybe you talk about 15 or 20 minutes about social media marketing. Maybe you hire a local expert to talk about marketing options within the marketing environment. Maybe you put together some conference calls, good old-fashioned conference calls. Go to freeconferencecalls.com, freeconferencecalls.com. Use their free service and get people together on a phone call to discuss and talk about your advertisers. Discuss with them in some good detail about the marketing options that are out there. See, more than anything, I want to make sure that everyone understands that if you want to be successful in the digital sales space and you want to grow the digital side of your business, you have to educate your advertisers. Salespeople being out there talking, okay? Your salespeople out there running their yap the way that I do, okay? I'm guilty of it too. I'll be on a sales call and I'll be out there running my yap and talk. But here's the thing to remember. You can talk all day long, but you need some strong education programs and visuals if you want to be able to complete that circle of education. How about good old-fashioned direct mail? Let me tell you something about direct mail. Direct mail continues to perform at 1% or better. It can perform. Why is direct mail on a resurgence? I mean, should you be reaching out to your partner, Shweiki Media, and saying, hey, guys, what can I do from a postcards perspective or direct mail piece perspective to get this information in front of my advertisers? A, it's affordable. Okay. Oh, postage. Oh, my gosh, it's so expensive. No, it's really not. And the price is not expensive either. Direct mail works. Why? Because people look at it now. We are now in a situation where we get the least amount of mail that we've ever received as a business and as a personal. Why is it? Because everybody's shifted over to email. Direct mail is still very, very powerful, and you should consider it. I mean, look at some of the rates that you can get from Shweiki to print, 2,000 or even 1,000 postcards to send out to your advertisers. I mean, I'm telling you some great deals. You should look into it. How about one-on-one coaching? Do you offer one-on-one coaching with your customers? Many of you don't do that. So you make it available so they understand, listen, if I've got a question or a comment or a problem or a concern, listen, my company offers one-on-one coaching. You can say the same thing. You just need to get educated up. How about e-media planning? Do you do anything in regards to that? What do you do on a monthly basis to educate your advertisers? Oh, I got it. I know what you guys do. I got it. You send out once a month a postcard or a mailer that talks about what's coming up in the next issue. Oh, yeah, Ryan, we send out an email every month that has the deadlines of our magazine. This is the thing. You spend so much effort on old school techniques to reach folks. Some of them that are actually still pretty good, but your message is wrong. Wrong message. What we do is shift to an education initiative. Educating people about what's new and happening in terms of Facebook advertising. You need to be educating them about the power of print. I'm going to share with you some statistics here in a second that will absolutely blow your mind year to year. But you need some type of advertiser education initiative. Remember something. Confusion is no. People don't buy, they don't understand. And they never have, and they never will. You have to educate them. It's so important. Now, objection number one, Ryan, I'm moving all my ad dollars to social media. If that's something you've heard, I think we've got some good stats. The first thing I would say to them is, when they say this to me, is why? Please be specific. See, I think it's important for you to understand that very often advertisers will say that they're moving to social media because they don't really know why. They just know they need to do something. Running to social media because that's what's out there. That's the chatter, okay? It's called the chatter factor. When people heard enough, they believe it. They think it's true. We've seen this happen with elections. We've seen this happen with scandals. We've seen this happen with things that are true or not true. If people are talking about it, wow, it must be true. It's the chatter factor. So when someone says, Ryan, I'm going to move all my dollars to social media, I'm pulling out of print. First things first. Why? Be specific. Because I want to identify, hey, why are you going? I want you to think this way. All right. Then I want to be able to have some good stats in hand. As an example, magazines and social media go hand in hand. Some of these stats we've looked at before. If you remember last year, Shweiki webinars, we drilled down through the MPA, Magazine Publishers of America, fact book. Okay. A lot of these stats I've pulled from there, but some others from some other places, and I've sourced everything throughout this presentation. 60% of readers, okay, magazines, 60% of readers magazines posted a magazine article on Facebook, and 6 in 10 have shared magazine content, chatting with friends on Facebook. So what that tells us is this, Mr. or Mrs. Advertiser, magazine readers highly influential on Facebook. Magazine readers are highly influential on Facebook. So if you don't advertise in magazines, you miss out on a highly influential audience. Remember something, typically people that are on Facebook that are not magazine readers are typically sharing information, but they don't have a source for the information. Sourced information is always better than non-sourced information. Magazines and social media go hand in hand, with 69% of readers having posted an article on Facebook. Now, we're going to find all these statistics, as you do each year when we go through this presentation together, is at magazine.org/factbook in all lowercase letters. Magazine.org/factbook in all lowercase letters. Look at all of these industries that I'm noting here on your screen. Now, it's important for you to recognize that the red is magazines on the right here. Yellow is internet. The purple is television. The green, second from the bottom, is radio. And the newspapers. Now, what this is doing is gauging, okay, the level of influence that a particular media group, a group of adults, okay, has, all right, within a sector. So, for example, in the automotive space, magazine readers out-influence internet, TV, newspaper readers. In the space, more people sharing on Facebook that are magazine readers than internet, TV, newspapers. In the area of food, okay, so you're in the food space, outshare all other media resources. Now, here's where magazines doesn't win, technology. The technology space recognize that, people more than anything are sharing on the internet. So internet users in technology space. Vacation travel space. Look at magazines. Outperforms everybody. In healthcare, that's almost 50-50, almost, between magazines and papers in the healthcare space. So if an advertiser is leaving us for social media and they fall into one of these areas, it's important for me as a publisher to place this in my media kit. If I'm a salesperson, it's important for me to share. Magazine readers have influence on social networks. Very, very big and robust way. Now, from a social media perspective, what do you offer? How have you presented it? Okay? So you want to, when we are presenting social media as an option to an advertiser, what are we doing? Now, you've seen pricing grid before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I think it's important for all of us to recognize and understand that you notice right here in the middle is social media mentions. Now, at this point in our little workshop together, I want to remind you of a movie that was very popular probably 10 years ago. It's a movie Jerry Maguire. If you know the movie Jerry Maguire starring that handsome fella, Tom Cruise, there are two sayings that came in that movie, two sayings. Do you remember them both? The first one was what? Show me the money. Okay, that was the first one. Show me the money. I think all of us recognize that's a good one for sales today, right? Show me the money. All right, the second, though, was this. You had me at hello. Do you remember Renee Zellweger saying that? Jerry, you had me at hello. All right? When you're selling social media and you're selling your digital assets, you're debating digital. You're debating Facebook and Twitter and Foursquare and LinkedIn and Tumblr and all these things with your advertisers. The thing is, very often, with this, you had them at hello. But then you get lost in the details, or you give too much statistics, or you give too much information that pretty soon you think you're helping. You think you're making it more clear for the advertiser. What's happening is they're just glazing over. Their eyes are just becoming cloudy in front of you. They're just about on the edge of passing out because of all the details that you're giving them. Or something. Selling your digital assets, first, always put it into a package. All right, that's the way that you're going to get the most money for it. Make sure everything you do is stupid simple. Thirdly, remember, you probably had them at hello when you talked about, listen, Mr. Advertiser, with this pricing plan, the Platinum package, you get a full-page ad in our magazine. We're going to put you in our awesome digital edition. Remember 2 or 3 months ago we talked about how awesome that is? Okay, in our awesome magazine. You're going to be in an awesome digital edition, and we're going to put you on Twitter and Facebook as a part of our Facebook feed. Does an advertiser say, well, how often is that going to be? What is that Facebook update going to look like? How many words is it? What's the size of the picture? You know, they just are happy that you're helping them do something that they know they need to do. They're looking to us in the digital area. They're looking for us to be a resource. They're looking for us to guide, okay? They're looking for us to run our yap, okay? They're not looking for us to run our mouth and keep filling them full of all kinds of senseless statistics because we as salespeople love them or we as publishers love all these stats. They want guidance. They want leadership. They want you. They want you to give them enough to take care of them, but if you give them too much, then all of a sudden they're just going to glaze over. And talking about debating digital, it's so important for you to recognize that you might have had them at hello. Don't lose them in the details. Don't lose them in the details. Now, let's go about Facebook for a second. Approximately 75% of Facebook users don't even live in the United States. I imagine you probably thought because Facebook started here that the United States has more Facebook users than any place else. Au contraire, my friends. Au contraire. 75% of Facebook members are non-residents of the United States of America. The average age of a Facebook user, according to Facebook themselves, is 31 years old. So if you are a business owner, non-publisher, just a mid-sized business, say you're a lawyer, you're a dental office, you're a baker, whatever, and you have a Facebook page, okay, so what are you doing with that page? Well, you know, Ryan, I'm not going to run a print ad with you because I'm going to have one of my helpers here. We're going to do a Facebook. We're just going to move on to Facebook. So much cheaper, and we can reach people more effectively. Okay, tell me about that. How much time is that person going to dedicate to that, and what are you going to do to grow your fan base? Because being on Facebook is sort of like having a little island. So you've got there, and you're hanging out around the bonfire. So what are you going to do every day to bring people over to your island? You can have specials. Are you going to have relevant information that they actually want? Are you going to run Facebook ads, Google ads? I mean, it takes a lot of time, effort, and energy. See, I think everybody sees it as a cheaper alternative until they factor in, write this down, the time, effort, and energy it takes to make Facebook a success. Facebook hater? Oh no. No. My clients make all kinds of money off Facebook. I love me some Facebook. I love Facebook. But here's the thing to remember. It takes effort and energy. If you have success on Facebook, it takes time, effort, and energy. What is your time, effort, and energy worth? What is the time, effort, and energy of your staff member that's going to 2 or 3 hours a day on this? What's it worth? What's their time worth? And are they the best qualified person to do that? See, Canyon, it'd be better for you to stick with us, okay? To go with us, and it'd be better for you to buy one of our packages involved in our Facebook feed. We'll push people over to your Facebook page. It's more cost effective for you to buy a package from me as a publisher. Ad, get a digital edition, get on our Facebook feed, buy into YouTube channel on a cost per thousand basis. For you to do that, then have a staff member dedicated. Well, we're just going to have them update a couple times a week. It's not enough. You're going to make an impact. As a matter of fact, you're going to be spending so much money. I don't know that it's a smart business decision. See, here's a graphic on your screen right now. Check that out. That I like to use. Now, you don't need to use this one exactly, but what you might want to do is come up with something similar to this. Is it shows potentially the small business touch points. What small to mid-sized business is going to reach out to the community and draw in new customers. Often, as a salesperson, what you do, and publishers, watch out for this. Go out on some sales calls. Uncomfortable as it may be, salespeople, take your publisher. It means a lot to an advertiser. So as I walk around this circle of options, services, email, trade shows, social media, websites, in-store presentations, the sales team, they're not doing. See, what I do is I pride myself, in not wasting an advertiser's time, but I also pride myself in helping them identify ways to bring in new customers. You know what? The old rule of 7. Okay, some of you old enough to remember that. It still applies today. Has the old rule of 7 changed? Meaning that the old marketing rule of 7, that a new customer of yours to see your marketing message 7 times before they make a decision to do business with you. That rule of 7 changed? No, not really. I search the web high and low. I have people that say it's definitely not less than 7. Some people are saying the new rule is 13, the magic 13. So even the old marketing rule of 7, okay, even the new marketing rule of the lucky 13, okay, which is awesome for all of us because that means people need to advertise more, which is awesome. People typically aren't doing enough. Most small to mid-sized business owners are not doing enough when it comes to advertising. So what I like to do is come up with a nice, strong visual like this, spend some time talking about it. Spend some time in some detail talking through what are you doing, what's working for you, not working for you, and how are you making this work in the total marketing mix. Another idea is you might want a graphic. Some of you that are followers of the Shweiki Booster Club here, and these have seen this graphic before. This is what I like to call my buffet. These are the things that my magazine station or radio station or whatever has to offer to you, Mr. or Mrs. Advertiser. Let's walk this wheel. Walk it clockwise. Make it anything. I think it's so important. Remember, some guys, I just preach this nonstop, and I swear people just don't listen because salespeople love to run that mouth. I was on a sales call not that long ago. I said, man, you're a good salesperson, but you talk nonstop. When you shut up, I'm going to step on your toe. We got to the end of the sales call, and this guy, just call him John, says, Ryan, it's pretty annoying. Why do you keep stepping on my foot? Man, you're like a stock Chevrolet engine, man. You just keep right on cranking. You just stop. You just keep right on talking. He said, well, I'm a salesperson. I said, man, you got to think of yourself as a teacher, as an educator. You know, how many people love to sit in a classroom and have a teacher lecture to them? How many people have a parent lecture to them? I mean, I'm 5 years old, and my parents lecture me sometimes. How many people love a good lecture? Nobody. The good are the teachers that stand in front of the class. And 2 plus 2 is? The class is 7. All right, maybe not 7. Let's figure out how you arrived at 7, because the answer is 4. Let's take 2 apples, and together, class, that equals 4. To ask great questions. Good teachers are educators. Good salespeople ask good questions. Good salespeople in the digital space ask great questions. And debate digital with somebody. You can't reach to them. You've got logical paths that they can follow you down. And the way to show that when digital is with visuals. It's so important to me. Before we begin down the path towards concluding our workshop here, I want to go with one of the most common objections that I hear. Very, very common. Magazines are old and traditional, in suspicious air quotes, traditional. I'm looking for new ways to drive business leads. It's important for all of us to recognize that magazines are motivating. More than 60% of print magazine readers took action as a result of an ad. 60%, more than half, of print magazine readers took action as a result of a magazine ad. Now, set your pen down. Quit checking your email. All right? Pay attention to what I'm saying, because this is a big one. This is a biggie. This is a $1,000 reply right here. If you follow me on this, you ready? Ready? Here we go. With the search engines, the driver of site traffic, magazine ads. Number 1. Search engines, magazines, and print material, to be more specific, are the biggest driver of website traffic. I'm not surprised when an advertiser says to me, my phone didn't ring. Here, Mr. Advertiser, typically people don't call anymore. They used to call because that was how they got more information from you. What they do is they visit your website. Fundamental. If I was in the front of a church or the front of a building and you were all in front of me right now, I'd have my arms in the air. I'd say, listen close to what I'm saying. Magazines drive website traffic. I'm surprised when people don't pick up the phone and call you. I'm not surprised at all. It's not what people do. People go to your website for more information, period. So when I'm selling digital assets, when I'm selling print, when I'm selling bundled packages, from day one I manage expectations. And this is what I say. Mr. or Mrs. Advertiser, I want you to know what this print ad is going to do for you. A good one is going to draw a lot of traffic to your website. So get people excited to research your product, service, or information. Even if you're a restaurant. Restaurants, it's tough selling restaurants, isn't it, guys? Can't ever get the owner to sit down. The manager's suspicious at best, going back and forth. Nobody wants to make a decision. They know they need to do something. They have to make one decision a year. They're always complaining. I mean, it just is what it is. And I love my restaurant owners. Remember this, even when it comes to restaurants, what do people do? No reservation. They'll go on the site, check out the menu, go on the website to find a map, go on the website to find the directions, go on their phone. I mean, you don't know the number of restaurant websites that don't work on a mobile phone. I've become a gazillionaire just by consulting with restaurant owners on making sure that your website is mobile friendly. Something. More than 60% of print readers took an action. Doesn't mean they bought anything, but guess what they most likely did? They went to your website. Fundamentally, this is so important for you as a salesperson or you as a publisher to understand that this is the game changer of the entire call today. Make expectations from day one so that advertisers understand their phone is probably not going to ring, but they should get website traffic. Their phone might ring a little bit, but try to change the conversation, guys. In the land of digital, people are going to the web or they're going to their mobile phone. Now, very interesting. And this is the last stat I'll share with you before we wrap up. Digital digital magazines with 91% of readers of digital magazines taking action after reading a digital issue. 90%. Almost every reader of a digital magazine did in response to reading it. Now, what did they do exactly? Did they click on a hot link? Did they buy products? Oh, great, Ryan, they did something from it. But the nice thing is we have some stats, okay? We have some stats to prove it. Here's what readers did. They love digital magazines. They love the printed magazines. I really like digital as well. Action, 82% made an app or content to somebody else. Digital, 58% decided to read another magazine on their iPad. 56% visited a website mentioned in an article. Why would they do that? Because it's easy to click on it. Your iPad, your article, there's a link there. You can click on it. It goes right to the website. Awesome. Visit the advertiser's website. It's awesome. 26% purchased something. Okay, good. Like that. 48% followed a tip or advice that they read about. So clearly magazines drive response, digital magazines, drive response, but it's important that we all understand magazines continue to score higher than TV or the internet in how people feel about the ads, how they feel about those ads, how they receive those ads, and measurement metrics. 41 minutes is the average amount of time spent with each issue. Looking at how ads look and how ads are received within a magazine, it's important for you to follow this. And this is the last thing that we'll talk about today. See the two graphs here? The purple is TV only. Okay, if someone went to run an ad, let's say Pizza Hut runs an ad. It only did a TV-only ad. It indexes it at about 100. When they add on an internet ad, it indexes about 114. When they do TV, online, and magazine, it jumps to 175. In both circumstances, April 2011, which is a dynamic logic study, all right, then a marketing evolution study showed almost the exact same thing. With an advertiser, when I'm debating digital, it's important for me to help them understand this. If you want to lift, your results, if you want to have better results, say to you, well, Ryan, I don't have any more money. Okay, here's the thing. It's say here that somebody has to run a full-page ad. I think that a half-page is probably going to get you the best results, or a two-page vertical, or whatever. Okay, the like ads that aren't full-page that are right next to content, editorial. I like those ads personally. What this does tell us, though, is that it's not enough. Online is not enough. With magazine advertising, you miss a substantial lift in purchase decisions, a huge lift. So it's important for you to understand a couple of things. One, people are not going to buy what they don't understand. I mean, they're just not, because confusion equals no. Okay? Confusion equals no. So whatever we do, all right, and we're strategizing for a sales call, it's important for us to do anything we can, visual or otherwise, to make sure that people accurately understand what it is that we're pitching to them. Next thing is, it's important for us to recognize overall that there are a lot more options than there's ever been before. So to simplify those options and make it as easy as ever, for them to follow us. Next, what is your advertiser education plan? What are you doing to make sure that the advertisers you have are very, very educated? Equals no. And next, what are you doing to sell it? Are you simplifying the sales process and things that are straightforward and simple? Next and last, from a social media perspective, what is it that you understand? Do you know that 75% of Facebook members are non-residents of the United States? Do you understand Facebook enough to talk to an advertiser intelligently about it? If not, perhaps you need to get together with me. Perhaps get together with another professional that can really get you trained up. And then magazines drive website traffic. And so because of that, it's important as we're debating digital that we help advertisers understand that. With search engines, print media drives people. It engages people. 60-some% of print readers took action from an ad. What did they do? more than likely, based on what I've experienced and what I see in stats, they went to an advertiser's website. So if we can manage those expectations from day one, we're in a winning scenario. Guys, you really need to recognize you have to be prepared for this debate. It's really, really important. It's an important debate that you're going to need to prepare for. You're going to need to be ready for that fight. There's no reason to come to that fight without any weapons because you've got some great ones right here. Watch this video over and over again. Shweiki, because of my relationship with them, I'd love to meet with you. I always offer all Shweiki customers 25% off everything that I do. That's my sales pitch to you today. What I want you to do is continue to come back because as a partner of Shweiki, it's so important for you to understand they are vested in your success, and so am I. Hey, I'm Ryan Dohrn from Brain Swell Media and 360 Ad Sales. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as always, I wish you the very best of luck. And when it comes to media sales, don't forget this. If media sales was easy, everybody would be doing it. And we're in a very, very special business. So put together a great digital strategy. Reach out if you need help, and back to you, to your publication, and to your media company. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.